on the markets. Moving on, more pain there for the auto sector. There seems to be no end to the woes there. After sales in the month of June were a disappointment, inventory levels at dealership level also continue to rise. Wholesale and retail volumes based on vehicle registrations fell compared to last year. So there is there any end rather to this pain in the sector? Let's ask Vinkesh Gulati, the Vice President of the Federation of Automobile Dealers Association, or FADA. Vinkesh, thanks very much for taking out the time. So data definitely suggesting that new vehicle registrations have fallen. Inventory levels at the auto dealerships have risen in the month of June. Where is it most felt? Is it the two-wheeler space or is it the passenger vehicle space?
Hi. Actually, it's fallen everywhere. You must have seen the SAM figures come in. So FADA is yet to give the retail figures, which we'll be giving in a day or two. And overall, what majorly is affecting is in the two-wheeler segment and the commercial vehicle segment, where the fall is huge in June. And passenger vehicle, as per us, the retails are still comfortable. Obviously, it has also fallen, but it hasn't fallen to the tune of what SAM gave the figure on the wholesale. So we are still okay with passenger vehicle, but yes, two-wheeler and commercial vehicle, we are seeing a big fall.
Also, the fact that in the months of December and March, where you had, some of the stock getting paired because of, end of calendar year. But once again, these averages have moved higher than the total industry average. And I'm talking about the two-wheeler space. Is this likely to continue, or is there expected to be a slight bit of a demand push that comes in for two-wheelers anytime soon?
So we are expecting a certain positivity to come in the festive season. Nothing before that. We still have 2 months before the festive season starts in the end of September. So two-wheeler will continue to have this blip. We can see another 2 months going down. And I feel after that it will take a bump up and come back again in the growth sector. Or maybe the degrowth stabilizing in the first month, and maybe in times to come it will see the growth. But yes, the coming 2 months is still a bad time what we are expecting in the two-wheeler side.
Hi Vinkesh, good afternoon. If one were to look at the data quite closely, I was reading a report which indicated for passenger vehicles, the slowdown that we've seen, it's the worst that one has seen since FY01. So which means the sales are at almost 18-year low, and the degrowth is only intensifying with the data we're getting month after month. What's the road ahead? I think the growth enabler that the sector was looking at was at GST rationalization, which has not come by. Plus, there is another headwind in the form of increase in cess for diesel as well as petrol vehicles. So, will this slowdown continue in the coming months, or there can be pre-buying before BS6 gets implemented next year?
So, similar to two-wheeler, good afternoon, the passenger vehicle will have a similar situation. So, we are expecting at FADA, we did a research, and we are expecting that we'll see some positivity in the festive season. And yes, you are right, the pre-buying will be there, but how huge, that is to be seen, because already OEMs have started launching a BS6 product. If you see, Maruti has already launched 2 or 3 products which is BS6 compliant. So obviously there won't be a lot of stock of BS4 left over in the last quarter of the financial year. If the stocks are not huge, obviously the discounting and the scheme will not be that great. So pre-buying would be there, but not that great. But obviously if you see the last year H1 wasn't that great. So we are expecting a small growth will be there. The kind of downfall which we are seeing for the past 8 months, 9 months, that will be somewhat arrested by October or November. And we see small growth coming in the last quarter, which is Jan to March 2020.
Okay. Also give us a sense, in order to clear the inventory, dealers were giving discounts. Is that trend continuing? If yes, what sort of discounts are we witnessing right now in the market for two-wheelers, or for that matter, four-wheelers as well?
See, in passenger vehicle, the inventories, I'm not saying what FADA requested of 21 days, but still come down to around 30-35 days. which is as of now a bit comfortable. Two-wheeler, it is huge still. It's around 50 to 60 days. We have to release the data. We'll come up with those days in another 2 days. So then we can comment on it more. But because of the high inventory, as you said, the discounts are still on. But those discounts, the dealers, the company schemes and all that is not giving us any benefit as of now in the market. So the discounts are on, but the conversions are bad. So still no benefit of those dealer discounts or even the company scheme is happening.
Okay, we've also seen, do you expect most of these auto manufacturers to start taking bigger production cuts following what Maruti did? They took a 16% production cut just recently. Do you expect more of the other companies to follow suit, keeping in mind these high inventory levels?
So I'm expecting some cuts to continue, not as huge what Maruti did at 17%. But the coming 2 months, at least next month, we'll see the cut happening. But because for the festive season, again, the stock building will start in September. So I'm expecting maximum July or August to have some cut. September onwards, then track on full production, but at least the normal shifts will continue for that. But yes, you will see some production cut in coming month and a bit in August. Not that great what is already there.
Okay, let's see if the production cuts continue or not. But looking at how the environment is, liquidity crisis, demand is not picking up, and of course the sentiment is also not that great right now. But Vinkesh, before we let you go, there's some disparity in the data also which is being reported with regard to, of course, industry is tracking the wholesale numbers where the companies they ship the vehicles to dealers, but at actual sales at consumer level from the dealer level, that data, if one were to look at, that's seen a decline of just about 10%. How are you reading the disparity between the wholesale figures and the actual figures at the dealer level?
So the disparities are still there because when they say a growth, so it could be a growth of these inventory days or even if they increase the dealers. And as they are taking the production cut, it could be anything. So actual data comes out of what the registration data is, what Federation of Automobile Dealers is regularly sharing with the media and the public. And we are asking SAM to also convert to the retail data because that is the actual data. Vehicles kept at a plant or a dealer, it doesn't show the actual retail. And if you see the data which registration figures are coming, that doesn't give you such a huge degrowth. So like if we see what SAM figures have given, they are showing around 13-14% degrowth. Whereas I am not expecting a double-digit degrowth in the registration figures what we'll be sharing. The degrowth is still there. It could be in some segment a double-digit, but overall the registration figures won't be showing such a bad thing. So this indicates like inventories are improving. And the production cut is actually now aligning to what retails are happening, which at FADA we are happy to. So let's see what happens in the coming 2 days.
Okay, Vinkesh, we'll leave it at that note. Appreciate you joining us today and taking us through your thoughts, what's happening with the sector, whether the discounts will continue, and of course the production cuts that we've been witnessing from a lot of these OEMs in the recent past. And the auto industry, remember the slowdown started somewhere in July 2018. It deepened in the month